I'm still in the process of moving, and I moved in a couple of weeks ago, but I think all my childhood stuff should be here. There it is. My name is Hassan, and I'm a senior business consultant at Netcompany Denmark, and currently I'm working on the NHS project where I travel half my time between Denmark and the UK. So this pouch has like a walk down memory lane when it comes to the glasses I've ever used in my life. Starting with these ones, which were my first glasses. As you can see, they're like safety for children. They're quite scratched. Even if the child was quite wild, they wouldn't fall. And that was the first pair I ever got. And thankfully, the style evolved too. I think the kids were the most difficult to deal with because they don't understand that sort of scope of being different. So they could only see the physical space of me going close to objects or coming too close. And they would use those common phrases that we know, like brûlé, and in my situation, my eyes also go from one side to the other, which mimicked the clock. So they would say tick tock, tick tock. But to me, nothing really was shaking in front of me. They were the only ones that were able to see it. You learn to deal with it and be able to explain yourself along the way, and you get a little thick skin from it. For the longest time for me personally, being able to talk about my visual impairment has been really difficult. And someone who knows me that might see this video will be like, how did you get him to talk about this? Because I don't want anybody to think of me and think of, oh, him and with his, I want to be looked at like just anybody else. However, the reason why I did agree to do this story is because I might be able to inspire someone else who might be having a difficult time thinking, what opportunities are there for me? And seeing there are plenty of opportunities. Næsten 22 kilo. Jeg skal lige dobbelttjekke, hvor meget man må have med. Jeg tror, det er 23. Shit. Before joining Netcompany, my journey started with me being a teacher, and because of my visual impairment, I was using technology in the classroom. And I met someone who found that really inspiring, and I had no idea about consultancy, and he had faith in me and a lot of ambition on my own behalf. So he was very adamant about saying, Hassan, you can do this, you can inspire other people. And he put me in situations where he was able to develop that side of me and put me on this journey that I never really thought I'd ever end up in. On my first day, I was already told that I'd been assigned to a project, and I think a week later I was already on an airplane on my way to London being introduced to the client. The majority of UK citizens, whenever they would have to register with the general practice, they would have to fill out 3 different forms. And this is where the NHS partnered with Netcompany. And what we're looking to do is streamline that registration process and ensuring that every GP is following national guidelines and giving easier access to healthcare. Coming into this job, I think I also struggle with imposter syndrome, being given such a big target and knowing it's all on me to figure out. My team lead was really great at saying, I'm expecting you to fail. And that created a room for me which was comfortable to come back and say, you know what, I did this, it didn't work out, and I just have to draw on some of my learnings of the things that didn't work out and then reiterate them to something else.
You need it with intense, so you see the categories.
By the end of it, we needed to come up with the 2,500 mark, but also focus on the digital uptake. How do we make sure that they actually use digital registrations as the preferred registration method? For the last year that we've worked with this, what are the themes that would come up that we would feel like could be elements that we could improve the service for? I get asked the question about, Hassan, what are you doing in technology? You don't have a tech background. And I say, technology is not about tech or about being able to code. It's a field for people. Solutions aren't just developed for the sake of the solution. Someone had a bright idea, and that bright idea got accompanied with passion, and then that solution was created. I think to me it was a scary thing to be told that I'd be working abroad and not know that much essentially about it, but it's been the most growing experience I've ever had in my life to be able to say yes to this, challenge myself in the sense of going to a different country that I know nothing about. I've been there as a tourist, sure, but it's a different thing of having to build an everyday life and understand the political landscape that I have to be able to do. And yeah, I consider myself really lucky to be able to have said yes and be put on this project. I always say this when anybody asks me, what do you do? In the story of what I do, I say the things that make me the most happy is knowing that long after I might have left this earth, this will live on forever. It's much bigger than me. It's about applying something that's going to change people's lives forever. And that's the most rewarding part of being particularly on this project.